Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. It's your host, Chris and Deepom here, and we are back to review Arrow Season 7, Episode 3, Crossing Lines. Still in prison, Oliver faces his biggest challenge yet. Meanwhile, Felicity gets an intriguing offer, and Diggle asks Curtis to go undercover for Argus. Now, before we get into this episode, there's something I want to say. I want to do this online and on the thing, because I didn't realize it was actually to the day. I want to say happy anniversary to my co-host, Deepom here. You know, it was 1 year ago. He got married. And honestly, I got to lie, I'm not saying this for you. This is actually happy anniversary to Susan, because I have to shout her out for allowing, for as much time as I take from you during the week. I feel like I'm a huge part of you guys' relationship at this point.
Like, it's interesting because there are times I'm like, yeah, I feel kind of bad, but I'm like, yo, she watches This Is Us. I don't watch that show. This is the time she uses to watch This Is Us. She uses to watch so I made her stop watching Project Runway when I was recording because I actually like Project Runway. I didn't know I would, but I have opinions. So I'm not saying we should podcast. I'm just saying that I don't just watch quietly. I have opinions about Project Runway.
You know what the funny thing about it is? I really do feel like that is one of the true tests of a relationship is when your significant other starts watching things without you that you actually enjoy. You're like, wait. You watched this already? You're supposed to wait for me.
I didn't know I would enjoy it. She's just like, yo, she watched it. I'm like, all right, whatever. But my competitiveness, I was like, yo, and then because it's all opinionated. Like, they're all good enough to where they're not making unfunctional clothes.
Right.
So it's all coming down to aesthetics. And so I didn't know I had so many clothing opinions, but I do. And they're strong.
Yo, I'll tell you, man, there's something to be said about watching things together and watching TV together and watching something that just brings a relationship together. Like last night, literally, and just so you guys know, we were going to shelve Shoulda, but it might be back because last night, I watched 3 or 4 different horror movies on Netflix, and we I'm serious. Hey, yo, that movie, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Creep. That shit is great. The dude in that movie is fucking psychotic. That movie is fucking ridiculous. And on Netflix, we watched 3 or 4 fucking movies last night. It was ridiculous.
You gotta give me the list when we get offline because Susan loves horror movies. I'm not a horror movie guy, but I'm willing to watch them. I don't know. There's no point. I don't like being scared. Being scared is an unfamiliar. I don't like that place.
Well, did you watch? Has she watched The Haunting of Hill House?
Look. She watched it and was like, I need to talk to you. She's like, you don't have to watch it, but I need to explain to you what's happening, just so I can say it out loud.
I think you need to watch it.
I get with Hickman stuff. I should just say some things out loud to you really quickly.
I honestly think you should watch it. Even if you're not a horror person, I think it would be up your alley. 'Cause I'm not going to lie, I was watching it going, this is some Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. type shit. This is some time travel shit. The time's involved. Just weird things are going on. You've seen things in the background. I actually think you would like. I'm with her on this one. I was like, you should watch it.
You're not the first person to recommend it to me, so I'm gonna have to give it a shot.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here for Arrow.
Arrow and shit.
Yeah, we're here for Arrow.
Once again, no Arrow.
Yo, you know what though? It's working. It works. I'm sorry, it works. It works. Okay, listen. And not only there's no Oliver in the suit, but they've got no Arrow whatsoever. And
that's what I'm saying, because remember last season they started off, I think it was 6 episodes of Ollie not being in the suit. Mm-hmm. This is we showed you that Arrow once or twice now, and you haven't seen him since. I thought maybe it's one of the things where we check in every episode, but no, we're getting no insight. It's just one of those kind of almost vigilante from 2 seasons ago mystery where it's wait, what the hell's going on here? Are we going to address this?
And not only that, but they're really making it so you're okay, obviously we know Oliver eventually gets out of jail, but does everybody know he's the Green Arrow now? Because what is going to happen? Because everybody.
I love
knows.
That you and I are both we know he gets out of jail, but more and more I'm like, wait, do we know he gets out of jail?
Good point. Good point.
He's they're level 2. There's level 2 is a body bag. I'm like, well. All right.
I mean,
people don't just say those things, but Ollie also he's done much harder prisons than this.
True. I mean, that's the one thing. That's a funny thing why he's so calm on anything he does. So we're gonna jump around in this, but let's just put it there. He whooped Samson's ass, and he was stabbed.
Cody Rhodes, former NWA heavyweight champion, first generational NWA heavyweight champion after his father Dusty, son of the plumber. He got his ass kicked real bad.
Like you forget that Oliver stabbed himself last episode and literally limping and bleeding out. And it's just that moment when like Samson starts off strong, right? He still gets a couple hits in, and then there's that moment when Oliver sees his own blood, and you're like, ooh.
Yo, I was like,
might want to call the fight.
Did Ollie not know he was bleeding before now? Like now that he's confirmed he's bleeding, it's a problem. Does Ollie not know when he bleeds? Like what's going on here? Because Samson ate the shit. Samson whipped his ass for a good 12 seconds.
Right. And then
Ollie's like, I'm gonna take your arms away now.
Right. And then like it wasn't close. I was like every moment was just like, oh, ow.
When you're in a fight and someone's offering you body parts, you're not winning the fight.
No. No.
I'm looking at your arm. Yeah. Never. Like, why? Just say yes and yield.
I mean, again, you just reminded. Again, this is one of the things you just reminded that. First of all, love the fights on Arrow. I'm sorry. I love.
Oh my goodness.
I love the fights on Arrow. Like, not even just that fight in the prison. Because Oliver whoops Samson's ass, then scales a fucking like wall to get the brick, and I'm just like,
as you want to do,
right? You're just like, okay, Oliver, we know you still got it. And then, but even then, the fight with the longbow hunters with again, when did Rene learn how to fight like this? When I don't like,
they're trying to make me like Rene.
This is what it is. You're never going to get us doing a Rene hive because he is a snitch.
That will never happen.
You're never going to get a Rene hive like you're getting Ralph hive right now. But like, I see you, Rene. Like I give you the
and that's where I am too. Like I see you. I recognize what you're doing. I recognize what you're trying to do. You're supporting Oliver's girl because you know you betrayed Oliver. Are we calling her the Silencer? It's better than the girl with the box. Noted. Like I like this. I like this. This is the Rene who's not too big for his fucking britches.
You know what it is, right? It's I'm looking at Rene and I'm treating Rene like Dinah treats Laurel right now. It's just like, all right, I see what you're doing. We're on the same side. We're cool. I don't trust you for shit, but I see you. But Rene was putting in some work, and I was like, huh, Rene actually can fight. And then you get Dinah versus the Silencer again. That was I love the way they do that fight with her, and that all the sound goes away.
It's not an expensive trick, but it feels expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it changed the whole entire dynamic.
So much of the scene.
Right, because like when she taps the drum and realizes that there's no sound there, and then she immediately turns around and they start fighting. Like you have this well choreographed fight, and there's no sound whatsoever. And I'm sorry, it just, especially when you have so much sound in the other fight, right?
Exactly.
When they're going back and forth between those two fights, you get one with no sound, then one with sound. Like it's just, I love it, and it again, like you said, it's not expensive. It's such a inexpensive way of making something that they already do really well even better.
Feel different,
right? And feel different.
And I think that one of the things you mentioned was like how well choreographed the fights are, but they're not just well choreographed and well executed. That's always been the staple of Arrow. They just make fucking sense. I'm catching up on some other shows on the network who shall remain nameless. And one of the fight scenes, I was like, well, that doesn't make the fight. I was like, that doesn't make any sense in the fight. And every moment, like you're right, and you catching that and saying it, like it's in my notes right here. But Dinah tapping the drum and not hearing any noise, it's so smart.
Yeah,
and it's so logical, and it's something that we kind of take for granted because even people when we complain about the things when the show kind of loses itself and tries things it probably shouldn't. The core of the shit that we love is still there. Like there's not a better, more consistent fight crew on television, if only because they only let May do it 3 times a season now.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
it was like the May and Sky whoop somebody's ass action hour.
And to be fair, to Asian shit on this that way, Ming did mess up her leg last year.
There are reasons. There are lots of reasons.
And she's over 50, which I it's still just what the fuck. Like
that's a whole other podcast.
Like try this.
But I think it's interesting because you're right. It's Agents of Shoulda even branch out and they do the superpower fights, but no one does pure hand-to-hand combat on a week-to-week basis like Arrow.
No, nobody does. And I'm sorry. It's just you can. And if there's like the only time I've seen it, and so when we say nobody does like the fights better, we're talking like grounded fights. Like the only time I've seen week to week fights that might be better than this is like Into the Badlands, but Into the Badlands is like so like you can tell they're like on wires and it's like it's like over the top ridiculous, right? Still great.
Their budget is in their fights.
Right, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love those fights.
I need to watch that, man.
No, it's great. I love the fights on that show.
My dad loves that show. That's why I need to watch it.
Yeah. No, it's good. Like I'm so far behind on it, but like I remember watching, and it's great. But with Arrow, it's just like you said, the fights feel so. They feel dirty almost. When mofos get into a fight, like they're getting into a fight. Like people, bones are getting broken. People coming out limping. Like blood's gonna be shed. Some people might die. Like we feel that shit's gonna happen, you know. And you feel the tension and you feel the stakes involved in that. Like when the one lone bow hunter with the one with the darts, like shot those darts at Agent Watson and actually got her in the vest, and she had to break it. Like it's just. I'm sorry, like you said, there's nobody who does fights better on a week to week basis, and it's not just week to week. Like because even with Into the Badlands is like only 10 to 13 episodes. Arrow's doing it 22 fucking episodes.
You're getting at least one fight an episode.
Every episode, and like again, and this is the great thing about it is again we don't have Oliver in the suit, and this is episode 3, and we've still had amazing fights so far. So imagine what's going to happen when we get him in the suit.
Right. Right. He doesn't even have his toys back.
Right. This is Oliver handicapped. This is Oliver whooped Samson's ass as he was also bleeding out from stabbing himself last week. Like, and then we forgot when he basically whooped all those asses of all the people that came in with Ben Turner with Bronze Tiger. I got to call him Ben Turner now because now he's making me feel like he might be maybe not as bad as he's been on the show, which.
Okay, so I have a theory about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get the final push to Ollie being truly Green Arrow. Because you talk about Green Arrow in the comic books, the two things that really kind of define him are his bleeding heart liberalism and arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen like the beginnings of it with the hand-fisted gun control episode last season.
Right.
And the public outing last season as well. But if he learns to take less of the black and white approach, if he learns through his incarceration, which I think is a lot better than him like having a change of heart because he read a book, like have him actually be unjustly incarcerated.
Right. And
get to see people like Ben Turner who, hey, I am in jail, yes, so it's not making me a bad person.
Yeah. And like I said, that did not feel, because you're like, oh, wait a minute. You're right. He did say, he did do this stuff.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about that. And, even in the comics, he's not, I believe he's wrongly convicted. Like, he's not supposed to be a bad guy. So, that kind of, and he was trying to keep us like, hey, Oliver, you don't really want to go in there. Like, so that could be something. That could be something there. And you're right. I think that they've been doing a good job of pushing him from the Hood, the Vigilante, the Arrow, and now Green Arrow, and actually getting that Green Arrow feel of him in this and doing it there. Because like I said, they're doing a really good job of that. And not just that, but I'm seeing what the theme. So for the Flash, the theme is family, right? For this, the theme seems to be basically like the official channels don't work. And this is why you need vigilantes. Because you see...
It's the why of the Arrow. Why of the Arrow.
Right. Why the Arrow, not just of the Arrow, but why vigilantes the Arrows matter. Because because the system can be so corrupt, the system can be exploited, the system is slow. You're seeing Agent Watson, like in this episode, she basically, broke all the rules to kind of try to take down Diaz, and had because she couldn't, or like her boss wouldn't let her do it. You have Lila, who I see what she said, but I'm wondering what else is going on there. With Lila's basically like, the official channels didn't work. I had to do some stuff off the books to try to get this thing going. Like, you're seeing everybody else kind of realizing that they can't do it the official way. And not just telling you that, but then showing you why. Showing you the red tape, showing you why, again, by taking Oliver off the table. And honestly, in this case, they've taken not just Oliver off the table. They're taking all the heroes off the table. All the vigilantes are off the table and showing you why you need to actually have them in order for things to pay off. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of this and seeing it. And so when we finally get Oliver back in the suit, it's going to matter a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, I still have here in big bold letters, do not trust Stanley.
No.
Do not trust that dude.
Stanley's the dragon.
I was just about to say that he's not the dragon, the demon. I was about to say Stanley's going to end up being the demon or something like that because I don't trust this dude whatsoever. He just happens to be there. Oliver tells him to do something. He doesn't do it. He shows up. I'm like, no, don't fuck with this dude. Everything's just too nice and neat, and he does. What is he there for? It's too. Nope.
No, it's and the things he's saying. You could never be in here and stay a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way he's talking in those quiet moments, you're like, come on, bro, you ain't just some scared dude in the corner.
Well, again,
I don't believe it.
Well, it goes back to last episode where they're trying to get the officer out, and he was basically like, well, you got to, there's only way to do it. You got to stab him. We can find some way to. I'm like, whoa,
dude, he wasn't going to stab him. He says he's got a family.
Oh, yes, right. It was the family. It was like,
got kids. I'm like,
whoa, why are we at a 15 already? Like, can we come in at like a 6 and then warm up to a 9? You came in at like 11 to 15. Like, what are we doing here, guy?
That's like getting an argument and somebody like, and that's when your girl left you. Like, wait a second, man. Like that.
Whoa, why are we bringing up old shit? Like, what are we? Whoa, let's de-escalate a little bit here.
Let's have a conversation.
Right. I'm just saying. I'm just just throwing it out there. Keep an eye on him. Again, also, I love the fact that Felicity shut Dinah and Watson off of the comms to let her know that they had to talk to Rene about getting the silencer. Like,
it's a little detail.
Because you could. And I'll say this about all the shows I'm watching so far with the Arrow. I feel like they're getting those small details. There's only somebody said something on YouTube. So remember we were talking about the Flash and about that scene where it seemed like they ran backwards in last week's episode of the Flash.
Yeah.
Somebody reminded me that earlier, like in episode 1 or 2, Nora mentioned that. Like one thing she can do is she can actually run so fast she reverses time. But she said oh, but I can't do the things you do. So that's what that was. They show her doing that, but they never mentioned it again. But they mentioned it earlier in the season. Somebody caught that and reminded me. Was like, oh shit, you're right. That they did say that she could do that, and I'm loving the fact that all these shows are doing these little things. It's a little thread.
All about that.
Exactly. It's a little thread.
That's what she does in the season finale of last season.
Exactly. It's the little threads that we've kind of forgotten and that they weren't picking up last season. Like Arrow kind of was, but like
I think Arrow was. I'll give Arrow more credit.
Yeah, I definitely do. Arrow definitely has more credit. But I feel like even this season they're doing it even more. So that little scene of her shutting off the comms to Watson and Dinah, well, because Dinah is kind of a narc right now, so you can't really trust Dinah. And you knew the entire time, like watching it going on, if you were paying attention, you knew that they had captured a silencer and they weren't saying anything. Yeah. So you wasn't.
I think trust Dinah. I just think that it's a need-to-know basis, and like Dinah, while she's on their side, it's easier for her not to have to lie.
Exactly.
Let's not make her have to lie for us.
Exactly. Because
I think
don't put her in that position.
From last season, I know Rene still trusts her, and I assume Felicity's come around on her over the last. I guess it's been 5 months. He's been locked up.
Yeah, it's pretty much don't put her in that position because she's clearly she's clearly uncomfortable at this point, right? She's uncomfortable in it, so. Like, don't even worry about it.
That's like the best friendship you can offer. Like, I'm just not going to I'm not going to make you put you in that position.
Exactly. It's like when, I'm not saying people do this, but, the thing I've heard of people be like, they're cheating on their significant other and they tell their boys, like, yo, lie for me. It's like, yo, don't put me in that position. Don't, I'm not your alibi. Don't do that. No. Do not make me do that. Don't put me in the middle of your shit. So I
don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of that thing. That sounds awesome.
No, it is all. Look, I'm I am
I've
not
never
speaking.
seen that in sitcoms.
I am not. I am not speaking from experience. I am just.
I have
I'm
never
speaking
even
on what
heard
I've seen from Twitter. Okay, I'm going off of the Twitter relations, which you all know are horrible. So
$200 dates and everything.
yeah, exactly. You know, actually, I believe now it's $250. I think they. I think inflation.
Oh my goodness, Twitter inflation.
Yeah, Twitter inflation. You know what I'm saying. So, also, I'm really interested in see again. It's just like with the end of last week, seeing our villain getting new powers. Like, yo, Diaz, what are you injecting yourself with? What are you doing here? What are we, dude? I need you to. You're a little unstable, and like I love how the two longbow hunters that were there with him were looking at him like, yo, is he about to inject himself with this shit? What is it? What is the fuck is he?
Okay,
doing?
so let's do this really quickly. Can we have a conversation about why they're called the fucking longbow hunters? And we're 3 episodes in. They've used a point of fear for at least since going back to last season. I need to know: do they just hunt archers? Have they fought Ollie in the past? Are they connected to Shadow, like who they are in the comics? And that's what I'm a little on my toes about.
We have nothing. And that's if there's one thing I do have a problem with, the fact that other than the name drop from last season, we don't have anything on them.
Okay, I was saying mine was more like I'm anxious to know. I don't have a problem with it yet.
Oh no,
Because, as you and I have noted, these are long fucking seasons.
Oh yeah. So like I'm not. It's not one of those. Oh man, I'm so angry. It's one of those like if I had to say something that stays in my mind and comes out, it's like yeah, it would be nice to kind of get some information, some background on them. I mean, it kind of does make them mysterious of each of them because like we barely even know their names. Like we only know Silencer because, and actually we don't even. No, they said her name for the first time. The other hunters. I can't remember what it was, but. Rene and them are calling her the Silencer and stuff like that. Right. So we don't even really have names for them or anything like that. So they are kind of mysterious. But the difference is they've established them as deadly, and I think that's the thing that makes it so that I'm kind of okay with it because at this point it's like I really don't give a fuck what you call them and their background because I know they're scary as fuck. Like they come in and they are basically. Like, destroying shit. And they're clearly a problem, and I definitely take I'll definitely take that as proof that we're getting more information on them and it then makes me wonder, it's like, so are we going to be sticking with Diaz as the villain for the entire season? Like that'll be really interesting in seeing how they do that. So but yeah, like I said, they have me intrigued. Like everybody, kind of like what they did with the Flash. Everybody's kind of doing their own little thing. You have this thing with Oliver in prison. You have Lila and Diggle with their own little thing over there. You got Felicity and Rene and Dinah and the rest of the group with Agent Watson trying to figure these things out. And we do know that all these people are going to connect back together into one big storyline. But I do find it great that we're able to kind of carry sections of the show and scenes by themselves and be okay. So right. I enjoy that shit. So yeah. Anything else with this episode?
Do you trust Lila? I think I trust Lila. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
I mean,
and I like the and talked about how they kind of play the gender dynamics with their relationship. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that so it's going to come up in our Daredevil review, and it's something I hadn't thought about myself until my wife said it out loud while we were watching. She said, "I think I'd have less trouble with Karen not listening to Matt if Karen were a man." And I was like, And so I kind of watched the scene with Lila and Dig through that lens. Mm-hmm. Like, how many times have we had Dig just be like, yeah, trust me, do his thing. And we back him because he's a central character. Mm-hmm. But also partially because in our heads, he's a man, he's got to figure it out. She runs Argus.
True, yeah.
If she says it's the right move, like, at a certain point, we too, like Dig, have to respect her agency and be like, she didn't get here by being the pretty girl in class. She got here because she's fucking qualified.
And not to mention, how many times was Diggle running online about what he was doing?
I wasn't even say anything. I was like, remember when Diggle was an addict like last season? Ooh. Remember how he brought reason Richard Diaz is a problem?
Yeah, we kind of do forget about the fact that Richard
anyway, this is
Dragon
all Diggle's fault.
Right, this is really all Diggle's fault. You're absolutely right on that one. So, yeah, good point. Good point on that. Yes.
I was like, yo, what's she up to? I was like, yo, stop. Let me think about myself for a second.
Yeah, you're true. You're right. You're right.
This is the type of show that would play on that for you. You'd be like, oh, you think she's wrong just because she's a woman. All right, we got you.
I mean, but, and also to be fair, though, she would do
tropes. No, tropes. And like, there are lots of other reasons. I'm not saying.
Right.
I'm not saying you think that you're a sex. I'm just saying that they're using our preconceived notions to allow us to go down a pathway. And I'm excited with this new showrunner and new writing crew, what they pull off here.
And again, we have I'm sorry, I forgot her name, but we have a woman as a showrunner, and I feel like the female characters on the show have done a lot better. Like if you think about it, in that scene at the CDC, the men were outnumbered because you had Watson, Felicity, you had Dinah, the Silencer, and that other female longbow hunter. You only had Rene, the guy, fake Captain America, not Captain America, and then you had Diaz. So you had the female characters completely outnumbered right there. So yeah, So
the showrunner is Beth Schwartz.
There we go, Beth Schwartz.
And I think you're right. I think that if you think about like the main thrust, the main plot of the season is them trying to catch Diaz. I think that's the A plot. That's being driven entirely by Felicity.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gone 3 different places now to try to get help, and no one's able to help her effectively enough. And so I think it's very interesting that if you look at it from that perspective, the main character of the season so far is Felicity.
Absolutely. Yes.
And Emily Beth Rickards is killing it. She's doing a great job.
Yes. Which, by the way, I guess shout out and congratulations on that.
Shout out to Emily Beth Rickards. I'm not sure I'm happier for her.
Like she pulling Alicia Tyler, yo.
No, Alicia Tyler pulled Emily Beth Rickards.
I mean, well, here's the thing I didn't know, and again, this is where Shanna and them yell at me because I don't pay attention.
You guys come to us for the comic news and the comic background.
This
you guys also have for other stuff. That makes sense.
This is where they yell at me because I don't pay attention to the love lives of celebrities. But apparently, Emily be pulling black women like that all the time, and I'm like, wait, I didn't know. I'm like, wait, this.
Emily has to type,
right? They're like, oh yeah, of course she do. Of course she got Aisha. She got a type. I'm like, what are you talking about? Type? She's like, oh yeah, she's always black. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. What's going on? I follow her on Instagram, but I didn't even know this. What's going on? Like, God. No, but shout out to them. I can't help but say it every time I watch one of these shows. That little inclusion and diversity spot they pull comes up, and it just shout out to me. I mean, again, I'm not going to bring the show up too much, but like. One of the reasons why I got really upset at Alan, I can't remember what his fucking name is, the dude who said some stupid shit about from Titans, he plays Hawk.
Playing Hawk, yeah.
Yeah, he said some stupid shit about Infinity War. I'm like, fuck Infinity War. Not fuck Infinity War. Forget Infinity War right now. You're talking about how you have the best comic book show on TV because we talk about grounded shit. I'm like, DC has an entire universe over on CW, and for all their issues, they work. They put that work in. They are about that diversity. They carry the emotions. When they make mistakes, which they do not shy away from, they made mistakes in their season. They come back the following seasons and they fix those issues. And you know what? Like you got to give them credit for that. And their shows are better for it. They've created an entire universe that's sustained to the point that I keep seeing these images for the Elseworlds crossover, and nigga, listen, I might take off that day. I might take off those days.
They're coming forward, aren't they?
I'm all down for it. It's like, to me, if Titans wants to come after somebody and look at somebody, then you look at your own show, look at your own DC. You're competing against them as far as I'm concerned. Because why am I going to pay $7.99 a month for your shitty ass show when I can watch on the CW basically 4 days of show, 4 days worth of shows between Supergirl, Black Lightning, Legend of Tomorrow, Arrow, and The Flash? I got 5 shows right there. What the fuck I need your show? What do I need to pay $7.99 for your show for? I can get everything I need from those other shows, and I know for a fact that they're inclusive. They take viewer complaints seriously, and I'm sorry, all the shows I've seen so far have made. Well, except for Legends, because Legends really didn't make any changes. But even though they did, I mean, they're going a completely different route with this, Magic route. Like they're keeping it fresh, and it's great. Like if you want to compare yourself to somebody, you need to look and see what you're doing compared to those shows, and that should be your mark. Because I like I said, I keep seeing these images from the Elseworlds on Instagram, and I can't wait. I'm so excited for what I'm seeing here. So. Yeah, so I guess that's it for Arrow. You got anything else you want to say about this episode?
No, man. Just this is one of my favorite hours of the week because I feel like it's gonna be straightforward storytelling, and they're gonna hit us with twists and turns. But every hour, at least, I know I'm getting the fight. It feels like watching The Ultimate Fighter back in the day. Yeah. The drama's there and all that good stuff, but I know I'm getting at least one fight.
Yeah, I like again the fights on this show are just they're pitch perfect. Top notch. I just people used to go, oh man, I can't get in the Arrow. I was like, watch it with the sound off then, and just watch the fights. I'm sorry, man.
No, watch the fights with the sound on, so you can see how cool it is when they fight with the sound off.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I found myself like a week or so ago watching some of the greatest fights with Arrow on YouTube. They do those YouTube clips. Man, I'm telling you, man, we got some great fights. We've gotten some great scenes in that show, man. So, all right, folks, there you guys have it. What do we got coming up? We are going to be so there's no. It's his anniversary, but he gave me the present telling me there's no Flash this week. So coming up this week, we'll only have, at least from us, Legend of Tomorrow reviewing. That'll be out. We're also going to be doing a spoiler review finally on season 3 of Daredevil. So that'll be coming. Make sure you're a premium member to get that. And next weekend, we will be recording part 2 of The Ultimate Spider-Man for the Character Corner podcast. We'll also be doing the Doom Patrol, but that probably won't come out until later on in November. So just stay tuned. Listen for us for that. Also, the promotion should be still running. You can get a free month of Stitcher Premium. Put the code in Tuesday at Stitcher.com/premium. Put the code in Tuesday. And you get a free month of Stitcher Premium. And, check the show notes for the link for our shirts. They're going to be all kinds. T-Public's running all kinds of sales during the holiday season because it's after Halloween, so it's basically Christmas time now, unfortunately. So I don't know how that works and why that works that way, but it is. But anyway, just stay tuned. We got a bunch of stuff coming out and sales coming up for that. So again, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.